At last, she reached the lone finished house. It was set at the center of the neat square of perfectly trimmed grass, towering above its stooped, half-constructed neighbors. Charlie stared at the lawn for a moment before realizing that it must be fake, just like whatever furniture was inside. She didn't try the door right away. Instead of going around to the backyard, it was laid out in a neat square of astroturf, just like the front, but here the illusion had been ruined. Ragged strips of grass had been torn up. The place radiated of a sense of distress, now eerily familiar. Charlie just stared for a moment, certainly pulsing through her. She clenched her jaw, then went back around to the front door. It opened easily, without even a whisper of a sound, and Charlie went inside. It was dark in the house. She flipped a light switch expertly, and it illuminated the whole place in an instant. A fully furnished living room greeted her, complete with leather chairs and a couch, and even candles on the fireplace mantel. She started to close the front door behind her, then hesitated, leaving it ajar. She walked farther into the living room, where she was, where there was an L-shaped couch and a widescreen TV. I'm surprised it hasn't been stolen, she thought, but when excuse me, she went closer, she saw why. It wasn't real. There were no cords or cables coming from it. The whole place had a surreal quality, almost of mockery. She walked slowly into the dining room, her feet clapping against the polished hardwood floor. Inside was a beautiful mahogany dining set. Charlie bent over to look at the underside of the table. Balsa wood, she said, grinning to herself. It was a light, airy wood, made for model airplanes, not furniture. She would probably lift the table over her head if she wanted to. Down a short halfway from the dining room was a kitchen with gleaming new appliances, or at least imitations of them. There was also a back door in the kitchen. She unlocked it and pushed it open halfway, leaning outside and looking again at the expansive, tortured landscape. There were several stone steps here leading down into a small garden. She stepped back inside, being sure to leave the door hanging slightly open. There was a second long hall off the living room. This led to bedrooms and a small room fashioned into an office or den, complete with tall bookshelves, a desk, and an inbox tray full of empty file folders. Charlie sat down on the desk chair, finding herself enchanted by the early surface impression of life. She spun the chair once, then stood again, not wanting to get distracted. There was a door on the outside here too, though it was oddly placed inside the desk. Charlie opened it, fiddling with the latch until she was sure it would stay open. She continued on her way, walking through the house systematically, unlocking and opening each window she came to. Then she went down to the basement. There was a storm cellar hung over a stepped stone stairs. She opened that as well, leaving the doors gaping wide. Outside, dark had fallen. Hey, Maru. There were several bedroom windows, each furnished and made up with bright curtains and silk sheets, and a large bathroom with marble sinks. Charlie turned the faucet to see if there was water, but nothing happened. Not even the grinding of pipes, trying and failing. There was a master bedroom with an enormous bed, a guest room that somehow looked even less lived in than the rest of the house. Thank you. And a nursery with a life-size menagerie painted on the wall and a mobile hanging above a crib. Charlie glanced inside each, then back into the master bedroom. The bed was wide and covered in a light canopy of white mosquito netting. The covers were white as well, and the moon shone through the window to illuminate the pillows. It had an uncanny effect, as if whoever slept here would be on display. Charlie went to the window and leaned out, breathing on the soothing, cool night air. She looked up at the night sky. It was still cloudy. There were only a few stars visible. She'd been moving with such great impulsive energy until now, but this part, it will be agonizing. Long hours might pass before anything else, and all she could do was wait. A nervous fluttering had begun to fill her stomach. She wanted to pace or even to run away, but she closed her eyes and clenched her jaw. It's me they want. At last, Charlie pulled herself away from the window. She had packed pajamas on the bag out in the car, but this sterile house full of props and imitations felt too strange for her to actually just for bed. Instead, she just took off her sneakers and considered her bedtime rituals complete. She laid down on the bed and tried to conjure her nightmares, gathering up those final moments with Sammy and holding them close to her like a talisman. Hold on, she thought. I'm coming. John checked his watch. She's running late, but she was late last time too. The waitress caught his eye and she shook his head. Of course, last time she showed up with covered in filth. He already called her doorbell, but the phone just rang and rang. He sang what he thought was an unanswering machine when he was there, but realized only as he was waiting for it to pick up it could have been one of Charlie's projects or some piece of discarded junk. The waitress refilled his water glass, and he smiled at her. She shook her head. Same girl? She asked gently. John let out an involuntary laugh. Yes, same girl. He said, but it's okay. She's not standing me up. She's just busy. College life, you know? Of course. Let me know if you want to order. She gave him another look of pity and went away. He shook his head. Suddenly, he saw Charlie's hands on her backpack straps. Oh yeah, so tight that her knuckles had gone white. They're coming for me, she said. Charlie wasn't the type to wait around patiently for something to happen to her. He got up and walked urgently to the payphone at the back of the restaurant. Clay picked up on the first ring. Clay, it's John. Have you heard from Charlie? No, what's wrong? Nothing, John said reflectively. I mean, I don't know. She was supposed to meet me, and she's 24 minutes late. I don't know. It's not a lot. But she said something earlier that's bothering me. I think she might do something stupid. Where are you? John gave him the address. I'll be right there. Clay said and hung up before John could reply.